Well, good afternoon, YouTube. If you've watched any of the previous videos, I think the last one I done, we did a little tour of the ham shack, and I mentioned that I had purchased 2 more portable shortwave radios to try out, see how they worked, and they came in about 2 weeks ago, because I think it's been about 2 weeks since I posted that video or longer. Anyways, they showed up from Amazon, and I've been trying them out, and I've got some information on them. Maybe this will kind of help some people out who are looking to purchase these particular radios that I bought. I've already done some reviews on the Texan 9012 and the TIVDO or the Redicus V111. Both portables that I purchased earlier in the year, and you can look at my videos and you can see my results on those. It's getting kind of late in the afternoon. It's Sunday. I finally decided to get out here and try these radios out and do a little recording since it's kind of cooled down. But the only problem is now that the gnats are out, because down here in Georgia, southeast Georgia, next to the coast, we're plagued with gnats, and sand gnats, or shad gnats as we call them, or biting gnats. And then there's just a regular little annoying gnats, and that's what's out today, the little annoying gnats. So anyways, I bought 2 radios from Amazon because they went on sale. I've been watching them for a while, and kind of had a price point in mind that I wanted to pay for them, and Amazon sent me an email and said, hey, the price has dropped on these. Now's a good time to buy. So I did. And the first one is a Kaito, or however you want to pronounce it, KA268. It is a FM, AM, and shortwave receiver. It covers your American FM band 88 to 108 megahertz, the AM medium wave broadcast band 520 to 1710 kilohertz, and then it has 10 shortwave bands that cover from 3.65 all the way to 2250. Not continuous though. They are broken up. So it's not a continuous coverage or general coverage receiver. But that may not matter, because that's not really one of the strong suits of this radio. And we'll get into that in just a minute. But this is a nice size radio. Excuse my arm. This is the Redicus V115 that I bought. And as you can see, the Kaito is a good bit bigger. I don't really have much to compare it to in size. I don't think it's as big as the Texan PL660s or 880s, but it's a good size radio, and it's heavy. I think it's because of the speaker that's in here. As you can see, it's got a fairly large speaker, and it may have a permanent magnet speaker in it. I don't know, didn't get into the technical aspects of it, but it is a hefty radio. It's got just some of the features of it. It's got your band selector switch on the bottom, FM, AM, and shortwave, and it's got a little indicator you can see right there that lights up which band you're on. And then if you switch to the AM and FM, it's down here. So, fingers in the way, down here, AM, FM, and then of course your shortwaves, you can see it across the top. And it is not a light, it is just a little fluorescent orange card, so it works whether the radio's on or not. On the front here, of course, speaker grill, and you have your FM light. If you're in FM mode, it comes on. You have your AM light when you're in AM mode. It also stays on for when you're in shortwave, because of course all shortwave broadcasts are AM. And then you have a tuning indicator light when you're tuned in. On this side of the radio, you have your volume control. You have a tone, which is really nice, because this radio, one of its pluses is it has really good sound. Has excellent sound for a single speaker portable cheap radio. And then of course your tuning knob. On this side you have your on and off switch, you have your headphone jack, and you have your DC power in if you want to run off of a DC wall wart. It'll also charge the batteries if you put rechargeables in it. On the back side here, you got your kick out stand, of course your complimentary time zone chart, and the battery door, and of course the wonderful wrist strap. And then you got a very long antenna, and yes, y'all get to see some of my junk because we're out here by the barn where we're doing a construction project, closing in my deep well. But back to radios. I've been using this radio for, well, I've used it just about every night for almost a week now, and it's got some good qualities and it's got some bad qualities. So let's talk about the good qualities. On FM, it receives beautifully. It is a very good FM radio receiver. Good quality sound. I mean, it really amazed me at the sound quality that this radio has for portable. And it has plenty of volume. You can turn it up and it'll be uncomfortably loud. It has a very long antenna, which helps it to be able to receive signals very well on its own. In fact, the FM band I can receive inside my home very well without any external antenna, just by using this telescopic antenna. And I get stations anywhere from 40, 80. In fact, one station was coming in and I know it's 115 miles away, but it's if I remember right, it's a high power FM station. But anyways, good sound quality, does really good on FM. I put one set of batteries in it, been playing it for, well, I've used it continuously or every day for an hour or two for a week. For 2 weeks it's been off and on, but the batteries haven't went dead, so I would say the battery life is pretty good. I may try to turn it on and just leave it on to see how long it'll play, see how long the batteries will last. But the other reviews on this radio says that the batteries last a very long time. Well built little radio. As far as construction goes, it being rugged, it's heavy, it feels good to pick it up. So the good qualities of this radio are kind of short-listed. The bad qualities, well, they're not a long list either, but for what I bought this radio for, it has a very big impact on it, because I bought this radio for its shortwave, listening to shortwave stations and AM stations, and it does not do a good job on either of those. On AM and on shortwave, this receiver is very sensitive to a fault. Sensitive, so sensitive you lose almost all of your selectability in it. What I mean by that is, in case you don't understand the terms I just used, I'm going to explain it to you as I understand it. Somebody else is probably going to correct me on this, but this is my understanding of sensitivity and selectivity. The radio can sense a radio signal of the microvolt level. The RF that you get from a radio station is sent out as AC current through the air in microvolts. And this radio, it says it can sense up to 30 microvolts in AM, I think it is, in shortwave. I'd have to look at the specs again, but it is very sensitive. It can sense the smallest microvolt signal coming from a radio station, in the air, in the atmosphere. That's its sensitivity. Its selectivity is the ability of this radio to filter out those signals that are unwanted from other radio stations, because every radio station that's broadcasting right now, all their signals are up in the air. And it's the radio's job, through the use of filters and tuning capacitors and all, to filter the unwanted signals out and only let the signals through that you want to listen to. Now, this radio's ability to do that is very, very weak. And I don't know if it's a component issue, if it's an alignment issue, or what. I would suspect that since it was such a low price radio, that it's probably just the quality of the components that are used that keep it from being able to have good selectivity. But at any rate, this radio gets overloaded even with just the aerial. You get a strong AM station, it's going to just blow you out the water. You're not going to hear anything else. That one station is going to come through on every band, in every shortwave band, on every frequency. It's just going to be blaring. And it's happened. Radio Marti out of Miami, Florida, the other day was just booming in strong right here at my house, and that's all I heard. Every shortwave band, for the most of the tuning frequencies on that band, it was Radio Marti. Same guy, just talking away. Couldn't hear nothing else. Flip over to the AM, he was coming through on the AM too. And you go to FM, that's a different modulation, so you've got different detectors and filters in there, and it didn't show up. But on the AM and the shortwave, it was just wiped out. It was basically no good unless you wanted to listen to Radio Marti. But at any rate, so with that being said, I did hook this radio up to my long wire, and it was not a good situation either. It was pretty much overloaded from the time I clipped it on. The tuning indicator light up here, out there, tuning indicator light came on almost full strength, and you couldn't tune in one specific station. The strong shortwave stations that are broadcasting AM, they were all over the place. I mean, they were just blocking out the whole frequency spectrum, because this radio couldn't select them out and filter them out. So, would I buy this radio again? All right. It went on sale on Amazon. I think it was normally listed for around $35. It went on sale on Amazon the other day for $14.88, and I think the shipping, it didn't have free shipping, but I did get free shipping because I bought both the radios and they were over $25. But anyways, it's $14.88, and then I think the shipping would have been $3 or $4 on it if you hadn't have bought enough to qualify. So would I buy this radio again? For an FM radio, if I wanted to listen to my local FM stations, or those in the surrounding area, yes, I would buy it. For $14, this thing will rock out. If I was looking specifically for shortwave or for AM listening, this radio would not be even on my radar. I wouldn't even consider it, because it's not there. It doesn't matter how much sensitivity you have in a radio. If you can't select out and focus in on the signals that you want, it's no good to you. So that's my take on it. For the price I paid for it, it's a good little radio. I've listened to it. I've been doing some work around my house this week in the afternoons, and I take it out under my carport and turn on the FM and listen to radio stations all around. We have a kind of an older rock station that's about 70 miles away, and it's a weak station. I'm not sure what class it is, but it is significantly weaker than any of the other stations around. And this radio, where the radio in my vehicle would not pick it up, or my other radios in the house, my kids' radios and all they listen to, would not pick it up. This radio would pull it in, and I could hear it under my carport. So we'd rock out and do a little carpentry work. So as an FM radio, this one's pretty good. Shortwave and AM, yeah, I want to look at something else. So anyways, we'll turn this on for just a second and just let you hear what kind of sound it has. It won't stay on too long because of copyright and all that good stuff. But we're on the FM.
Difficulty, some persecution, and he's trying to tell them that life isn't always fair, but there's things that we. Preach your son. Some people. Taking these drugs on the docks at night, but the I don't know about you. Been polite, but won't be. Things, the everyday things, and the happy dance things, especially the happy dance.
And this is that oldies kind of rock station we have. It's about 70 miles away. So I think it's 104.7. You can see it's picking it up pretty good, which I have it attached to a short long wire. If you've seen any of my other videos, the GoPro, that's right there. Alright, let's switch over to the AM.
For that coverage, it is required by law.
The Bible is full. Over Cincinnati, the Braves won.
On this letter to Secretary Azar, she. Well, I tell you, it's just very that taking charges and plans.
You can see it does pretty good on AM. The later it gets in the afternoon, the better the more overload you'll start getting on the AM side. And I don't know if you can hear it, but as I'm moving the tuning capacitor and the tuning needle, you can hear stations in the background that are just
top of a building.
They're not changing.
We can depend on gravity.
And you can see some of these stations are, once you move off the center frequency, you should start seeing a drop in the reception of the station, and it should drop fairly quickly because even though AM is pretty wide bandwidth, it's still considered narrow. So and that's probably Havana, Cuba, or either Radio Marti in Miami. And you can see it just.
We're in the time in between.
It's hard to narrow in on anything. You can see here.
Christianity doesn't postulate
we moved, you know,
of an eternal struggle between God and Satan.
100 kilohertz, and we got no change in the signal.
We didn't start out as Satan.
El envío del primero para Russell Martin 2 y 1. Los Astros continúan en primer lugar
You see, it just knocks out the stations. You know, the high power stations just knock out big chunks of the frequency range. When I first came out here tonight, I turned it on and was getting some CW at 525, and I know there's no CW at 525, and I stayed there and listened for a minute, and a few minutes later I heard an amateur calling CQ, and he was actually bleeding over from the 80 meter amateur band down there at 383, I think it was, is where he was at. You can hear just a lot of stuff. Tried to pick up WWV. Yeah, that's not happening.
So many other appropriation bills that they put it in there to clear. Should not be paying for that, Leo.
You can just hear all kinds of stuff in the background. Anyways, yeah, I'm not going to continue to bore you with all that. So, anyways, that's my take on it. It's probably going to go in my shop. It's going to be my little FM radio to listen to when I'm in the shop now. Doing, you know, woodworking, building stuff, you know, what have you. So, anyways, that's it, guys. You know, take all this with a grain of salt, and you know, make a well-informed decision on your purchases. I know I only paid $15 for this, but $15 goes a long way. So if you guys like the videos, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. If you would like to send $1 or $2 to help buy some more radios for me to check out and, you know, kind of give my opinion on, there's a link that'll get you to my PayPal account, and the money that goes in there goes straight to buying, you know, radios for review, equipment for review, ham equipment to test and tune and try out. So if you feel so inclined, drop $1 in there. It would be very much appreciated. Again, thanks for watching, and everybody enjoy your radio.